everybody, and welcome back to Frankie's Aquatics right here on the wonderful platform that is YouTube. How has everybody's week been? I hope you've all had a really productive week. Let me know what you've all been up to in the comments below, and let's get cracking with this week's video. So this video is going to be something I've ummed and ahed about for quite a while on whether or not I should do it or not, but I'm going to do it. I am going to speak about it today. But there is going to be some fun stuff added in too, because not everybody comes here to listen to me talk. A lot of people come here to see the axolotls, so I've recorded some video of many of them feeding, which I will attach on the back end of this video. So if you don't listen to me ramble on for so long, then skip to this, and that's when you'll see the feeding. So today's video is going to be how things are going to progress and change here at Frankie's Aquatics. Some of it is out of choice, whereas some of it is also out of almost being forced into a position to do so. So as many of you probably already know, Frankie's Aquatics is a new company, it's a new business. It's essentially my hobby that has become a small family run business. It's something I enjoy doing, it's something I'm very passionate about, and it's something that I pride myself on very, very much. Now, when any new company or any new business, whatever you want to call it, very first starts out, they're very limited to what they can actually do and which avenues they can actually use. I chose to use word of mouth locally, and a lot of my axolotls sold that way, which was great, and my preferred method personally. And then secondly, it was on websites like eBay and stuff where you can sell aquatic animals and stuff like that. So I chose to use eBay. Now, as many of you probably know, eBay do support selling of aquatic animals, but they also support the payment method of PayPal. And I've learned very quickly over these past few months that PayPal and eBay are very much in each other's pockets. They're very much, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And they have policies and rules in place that are very confusing. So let me kind of elaborate of where I'm coming from. So I was selling my leucistics and my wild type axolotls, no problem, on eBay. They were selling very well. People were coming to me, asking me loads of questions. I was helping so many people along the way, and I was just having great fun with it. I was finding my feet. A lot of people were being recommended to me by their friends and family that had obviously associated themselves with me. It was great. Things were going so smoothly. And I had 3 wilds left. I listed them on eBay. And then out of nowhere, I got this strike, if you want to call it a strike, and an email from eBay. It was from ebay.com, not .co.uk. So that kind of threw me straight away. And they suggested that my listing had been removed, i.e. my wild type axolotls had been removed from the listings. And the reason for that being is they're an endangered species. So I was like, the true wild type axolotls are absolutely endangered. But I thought maybe the wires have got crossed, they've read it, they've read the title. Wild type axolotls, they've assumed that they're actually wild caught, and they're not. They're a hobby, they're homebred, they're not wild type at all. I'm in the UK for a start, they don't live in the wild over here, they wouldn't survive. And yeah, I was kind of like, okay, it's a little bit of confusion, I'll speak to them. I find it straight away almost impossible to get hold of anybody in the relevant department. It was a nightmare. The email that they'd sent me saying that my listings had been removed didn't offer me any kind of communication. It didn't offer me what to do next. All it told me is your item has been removed and it's for this reason. It's part of the endangered species that you're not allowed to do that. We'd strictly suggest that you do not relist the items, which I wouldn't do anyway. And that was it. You can't reply to this email. It's not manned, so don't waste your time in replying. So I was like, right, okay then. Now what do I do from here then? So what I did is I went onto social media, I went onto Twitter, and I tweeted them. And I said, look, I think there's been a little bit of confusion. I've been trying to sell my wild type axolotls that are actually not wild type. That's just the name. That's just the name. That's just the type. It's a wild type axolotl. They are captive bred. They're not wild caught. I'm in the UK. You can't wild catch an axolotl. Not legitimately anyway, as far as I'm aware. So I'm sure there's just a little bit of confusion. Let's clear it up. The guy that finally got back to me was like, right, let's see what we can do. He went away, he'd come back, he said, oh, Fran, I apologise, the listing has been removed, but it's not for the right reasons. It's not for the reasons that you were told in the first place. Your listing has been removed because you're not allowed to sell axolotls on eBay. It was that far afield, it was that stretch. And I was like, okay, but I can go on eBay now and I can search axolotls and there's literally 20, 30 adverts of people selling axolotls, and there has been for many years. I've never seen a shortage of axolotls on eBay, and I was like, I don't mind playing by the rules, that's absolutely fine, but you've got to let everyone play by the rules. It's only fair that everybody, and there's been sellers on there that have been on there for a while by the look of the feedback and the reviews and stuff. Are you going to hit them with the same stinky stick, or you're just hitting little old me who's just starting out here? And they're like, don't worry, rest assured, what we suggest you do is basically do our job for us. What we want you to do is I want you to go around and report them for me. So go to the adverts, click on the 3 dots and then hit report. And I'm like, listen, snitches get stitches. I ain't about that for a start. And for 2, it's not my job to do your job. You've come and found me pretty quickly enough. And I can only assume the reason they found me, after AGW, a Gamer's Wife collaboration video, I can only assume it brought a lot of traffic my way to my eBay page, maybe. And obviously eBay thought, why is this chap getting a lot of interest all of a sudden? And they've had a little bit of a search and gone, hit him with the bad stick. And slap me with a stick or something. I don't know. So anyway, I kind of argued my toss. I was like, I'm not doing your job for you. That's your job. I wouldn't say, you know what, you've got a point here, but why don't you come round to some pots that need washing in my sink? Get on with them for me. I'll get the fairy liquid, because I ain't got a dishwasher, I'm not that posh. I'll get the fairy liquid and, I'll dry. I tell you what, you wash, I'll dry. I wouldn't expect them to come and do my work for me. So why on earth am I expected to do their work for them? It just seemed a little bit knock on. It just didn't kind of fit. So I was like, right, so I'm going to ask for a third opinion. So I contacted somebody else from eBay and I said, please, I'm being told 2 different stories. 1, endangered species you're not allowed to sell. And then 2, you're just not allowed to sell axolotls, and that's it, despite the fact that there is axolotls readily available on eBay. Where are we here? Where's the middle ground? There has to be a fair and even way of doing this. How do we go about it? I was basically told to sit tight and let's see how things go, and I'll investigate further, and I never heard nothing back. Didn't hear nothing back whatsoever. No kind of agreeing to the 1 or the 2 idea, or no kind of new solution, nothing. I heard nothing back. So I replied again. Same person, I knew him as John, as he emailed me back, and again, he read my message and I got nothing back. So me being me, I just relisted a wild axolotl. I thought, you know what, I've tried to be nice about it, I've tried a different approach, and you just chose to ignore me. So I relisted the axolotl. Sold him within literally a day because they are beautiful, not blowing my own trumpet. That could have been something terribly more rude. But darts, playing dart. 180. So yeah, I relisted and they sold straight away. I had no problems and all that. But then I had another problem with not eBay, but PayPal. Now I'm sure we've all had problems. Everyone that's used PayPal has had problems with PayPal. So I sold a collection of axolotls to a particular customer. They put in the order, they paid for the order, and then PayPal out of nowhere decided to hold on to my money. It's pending, it said. Okay, what's that about? Click learn more. Apparently, PayPal can randomly hold back your payments. If you have not been using PayPal as a seller for more than 90 days, they will hold. It's apparently, it's luck of the draw. They won't hold all your payments back, but they will hold ones that they feel they need to, and they'll hold them back for you. And it's more to do with the protection from the buyer, which I completely understand. I completely understand that the buyer has to be rest assured that their money is going to the right places and it's in a safe place and it's safe. And if there's any issues with buying anything online, they've got the protection of that, the buyer's protection. I get that. I actually support that. What you got to think about here is little old me is trying to make a business, trying to take a business to the next level, and hopefully. This floor is terribly squeaky. Listen, I can't do anything about it. Stop it, floor. Pack it in with your squeaky noise. So yeah, I get the fact that you need to support the buyer, understand that, and absolutely actually support that. But why should the seller be penalised, especially a new seller who's just trying to find his feet and just trying to establish himself? Why do we have to take it on the nose? Why don't PayPal themselves pend it? I mean, let's say £50 order. Someone puts in a £50 order. That's like me losing a penny. Not even that. PayPal are a multi-billion pound industry. Why does it have to actually conflict and affect the seller or the buyer? Why can't they take it on the nose? Banks tend to do that. Why can't they do it too? Doesn't seem to make any sense for me. So a long story, a little bit shorter. I'm having terrible trouble with PayPal. It's an absolute nightmare. They seem to be holding all of my payments for 28 days without any good reason as to why. Even when I provide proof of sending the item, proof of receiving the item, even when the customer's confirmed that the package has been delivered, they're still holding back on my payments, and it doesn't make any sense as to why. It's really off-putting is wanting to use that service. But unfortunately, we're kind of limited. We have to use them services. We've, as a seller in particular, we're very limited to what we can actually do and what we can actually use. We're kind of stuck. We're kind of in a place we don't really want to be, but we're kind of stuck there. But I'm trying to get to the point now where I'm trying to think outside of the box, and I'm not going to sit back and take this anymore. So Frankie's Aquatics is going to change how he does things, that's right Frankie, you, and going to change how I do things, and I hope you guys will support the journey. So I'm currently in the process of making my own Frankie's Aquatics website where you can go. You'll be able to see what babies I've got available. You'll be able to see what stock's up and coming. You'll be able to see as far ahead as what planned spawns I've got. You'll be able to see everything under one roof, essentially. A bit like Toys R Us about the giraffe. There's millions of axolotls all under one roof. It's called Frankie's Aquatics, Frankie's Aquatics, Frankie's Aquatics. So it'll just basically be one-stop shop where you can go and you'll be able to see everything. I'm also going to tie my YouTube and my social media feeds into there too. It's going to be like one big hub for everything Frankie's Aquatics. Frankie's Aquatics. It's one big hub for everything Frankie's Aquatics. I hope, obviously, first and foremost, it obviously does hinder me as a company, as me as a person, and me as a brand, because it's not going to give that wide audience that it once had. When you pop something on eBay, let's say I go searching for a better fish, let's say, and I just go onto eBay and I go, better fish. I will literally get hundreds of listings of better breeders that are selling beautiful betters. Whereas little Jack Horner who's sat in the corner over there, he's going to have his beautiful betters, absolutely beautiful betters, but because he's not being able to use eBay or isn't using eBay, his viewings are going to be very limited. So it's going to have a knock-on effect to how Frankie's Aquatics work. I just feel like I needed to get this off my chest because things are going to change. And I don't really want things to change. I want eBay to loosen up the belt a little bit and understand that I'm only playing fair. I'm only doing what other sellers are doing and have been doing for X amounts of months, if not years, and it should be fair game for everybody. They shouldn't slap me and go, don't you post that again? If you post, I tell you, if you post that again, there's going to be problems, there's going to be trouble. Well, that's fine. If you want me to play by the rules, I will absolutely co-endear and play by the rules, but at the same time, you've got to let everybody play by the rules. That's like telling one kid in the playground, come in, it's raining, get inside, you're not allowed to play outside, it's raining. While the rest of the kids are running around the playground in the raincoats. It's not very fair, is it? There's got to be a middle ground. Again, if you have any solutions or any kind of advice on what we can do, I would be absolutely willing to listen and hear it. I mean, I'm thinking looking at Google Pay. That's also an option. There's loads, well, there's not loads to be fair, there's other ideas and there's other options, but how do I go about it? I don't know. There's obviously websites like Gumtree, which is a UK base. I think it's very similar to, there's a US version of it. I think it's, is it Craig's List? I don't know. Bob's List, Jemima's List, I don't know, someone's list. So you've got that equivalent. And then you've also over here got Pre-Loved. I'm not too sure if the US have that or anywhere else in the world have that, but we have something called Pre-Loved. And although it's sort of an okay platform, I don't really like using it because it's almost initiating or suggesting that it's pre-loved. It was loved once, but now we don't love it. So do you want it? You can have it. And I don't like it. I know it's really petty. But if I was looking for an axolotl, I probably wouldn't go to Pre-Loved if I'm completely honest. I don't know why, I just probably wouldn't. Because it's almost like someone's hand-me-down. And axolotls are no one's hand-me-down, absolutely not. So yeah, any ideas, just let me know, hit me up in the comments below. I'd really do appreciate any kind of feedback or any kind of advice on what I should do. And I will listen to every single one of you, so please let me know in the comments below. Now I also I was gonna save this, I wasn't gonna do this, I'm gonna do this in a whole other video, but I'm gonna throw it on the back end of this. I'm also in the process, I've been speaking to a few people, the relevant people that I need to speak to about this, and I'm also in the process of going to be launching a almost rescue centre, an axolotl rescue centre, where people can come if they don't want their axolotls anymore for whatever reason. Things change, situations change, everything in the world tends to change, and I want people to know that they're in a position where they've got an axolotl which can live potentially for 10 to 15 years. It's quite the commitment. Not just to just kind of pass them aside. Come and contact me anywhere within the UK and I will offer a safe haven for your axolotls to obviously recoup, rehab, and then hopefully find new homes. But just trust me. Also, I keep saying this to my wife. My wife looks at me every now and again. She'll see the door knock with some sort of collection or box or something or another, and she'll just stare at me. She'll just go, Frankie, what are you up to now? And I'll just be like, look, just trust me. Just trust me. And to be fair, it was not that long ago, it was a few months ago that she actually sat me down and she smiled at me. Which, when you're married, that doesn't happen very often. But she just smiled at me. And I says, what are you up to? Are you up to something? She went, no, I'm not up to nothing. And I says, well, what was that smile about then? That looked very, very sinister, that smile. And she turned to me and she says, look, you did it, didn't you? And I said, sorry, does this mean I'm right on something? I says, what do you mean by that? And that was the floor again. And she says, you did it. I'm not being funny. I always thought that you're a little bit crazy and I never really understood your vision. I supported your vision, but I've never always seen it, but you're doing it and you're doing it well. And I just suppose I just need to trust you a little bit more. This is actually what she said. She'll probably deny it like anything in the comments, but you did say it, Jam, you did. And I said, yeah, because I've never been so sure on anything in my life. Anything. I've always had doubts. I always self-doubt myself, first and foremost. I'm my own worst critic. I watch my videos back just so I can go, right. So I'm constantly watching my YouTube videos back, and that's not just because I love my beard, although it is a very nice beard, and it is nice to see it on the big screen, I'm not going to lie. It is because I like to critique my work. If I didn't cut something right, or I didn't edit something right, or I said something better or worse than what I could have said or should have said, I like to hopefully remember that, and in my next video improve on that. I'm kind of critiquing my work all the time, but for all the right reasons. And I've never been so sure on anything in my life than I have of Frankie's Aquatics. It's my brainchild, it's my baby, it's my being. It really is. It's a huge part of my life. And I'm literally blown away. I ain't gonna cry at you here, but I'm blown away by the amount of support that I receive from people like you guys that watch my content, people that follow me on like Instagram, on Twitter. The amount of support I've had has been mind-bending. It really has. And I don't think you will ever quite realise how much it means to me. So sincerely, thank you all so much. So if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that like button, also hit the subscribe button, also ding that notification bell, and it just lets me know that you guys are enjoying my content. And next week I shall be back again and again every week. You just stuck with me now. Unless you unsubscribe, you kind of stuck with me every Monday. Every Monday your phone will vibrate and let you know that I've uploaded my video. So if you haven't done already, do all that funky stuff, and I'll see you all next week. So ta-ta for now. Walk off now to the last Lassie music. I would hum it to you or sing it, but I don't quite know how the Lassie music goes. Actually, no, forget Lassie. Lassie's all right. Everyone loves a dog. Incredible Hulk, at the old classic TV series, where he'd walk off with his bag, questioning why he was such an angry man. Da, 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 da.